Football Manager is easily one of the most popular video games in the football genre right now. The game takes a completely different perspective from other football games like PES and FIFA, putting you in the shoes of a club manager rather than a player. This concept brings a completely different playstyle, as well as many new challenges, which football fans across the globe have related to strongly. However, Football Manager hasn't exactly had a smooth ride, and in this video we'll take you on a journey through time checking out how Football Manager has evolved throughout the years. So without further ado, let's take a look. Pre-release. So before Football Manager became the game that we know today, it started out as something slightly different. The entire idea of a Football Manager was invented in 1985 by two brothers, Paul and Oliver Collier. These two football fanatics had had enough of terrible football games out there, so they decided to create their very own Football Manager simulator. The attempt was actually called Championship Manager, and this name wouldn't be changed until 2004. This wasn't the first time that the brothers had tried their hands at a football game. The two had previously created a few different football management simulators, such as Mexico 86 and League Division 1. But these attempts simply hadn't worked as well as they had hoped. So Championship Manager was a bit of a last-ditch effort to create something revolutionary. In total, the first installment took over 6 years to develop. Both of the brothers were at college at the time, and they didn't have much time to code after a long day of school. Nevertheless, they were able to get the game finished, and after a lot of searching, they were able to partner with the publishing house Stillmark and get the game released. Championship Manager was a huge success, and sequels in subsequent years quickly followed with better graphics, game mechanics, and new features like real player names. However, in 2004, everything would change. 2004, the first Football Manager is released. So what happened in 2004 that was so significant? Well, to give you a bit of context, in 1995, publishing company Eidos acquired the branding rights to Championship Manager over Domark. Then in 2004, the game developers, Eidos Interactive, decided to split from Eidos and were able to keep the rights to the source code. However, Eidos was able to retain the rights to the game's name, meaning that Championship Manager could no longer be called Championship Manager. To keep the franchise alive, Eidos Interactive then announced that they would be continuing the series but under a different name, Football Manager. And while it might not have seemed ideal at the time, this whole ordeal was a blessing in disguise. After the rebrand of Football Manager, Eidos Interactive partnered up with gaming titan Sega. And in 2005, the first Football Manager was officially released as a competitor to Eidos' Championship Manager 5. Football Manager 2005 was a huge success and made many improvements over this now established manager-style format. The user face was updated and looked 10 times better. The game engine was revamped for smoother gameplay, pre- and post-match information was added, cut summary news was added, coaches started to report on squads, mutual contract termination became available, and manager mind games were included for the first time. Football Manager 2005 was so good that, according to Eurogamer, it became the 5th fastest selling PC game of all time, and that is quite an achievement. 2006 to 2010, the evolution years. So, the 2005 game built on the company's previous attempts and received unprecedented popularity. But Sega and Eidos Interactive had no intention of stopping there, and from 2006 to 2010 consistently improved on their game. The 2006 installment didn't feel very different from the previous version, but many quality of life improvements were added. For instance, team talks were added alongside simplified training mechanics. An in-game help screen was also added to help players make the most of their players and money. 2006 also marked the first time that Football Manager could be played on Xbox 360. The game was pretty much the same as the PC version, but also made use of Xbox Live functionality, giving players the option of creating online leagues and cups. The 2007 installment of the game drastically improved the scouting system. Scouts and coaches' experience would now be shown graphically via bar charts, and they would also gain knowledge from previously scouted areas. adding a sense of realism to the game. The 2008 version made many improvements to match gameplay. For instance, a mini radar pitch was added during practical changes. The notebook and captain sections were revamped, and international management was also improved drastically. The finance system was also given some much needed work, making the game feel even more refined. Football Manager 2009 marked a huge leap forward, as this would be the first game in the franchise to use a 3D match engine. This made the game feel so much more modern and just completely changed the trajectory of Football Manager for good. Other notable changes included the addition of female managers and a new press conference system. However, it wasn't all good news. The developers decided to make use of online activation DRM for the 2009 installment, which turned out to be a massive mistake, as hackers launched a DDoS attack on the game, the result of which meant that thousands of players couldn't play Football Manager for a considerable amount of time. 2010. Football Manager Mobile is released. Following this slight embarrassment, Sports Interactive knew that it had to get the player base back on its side, and boy did they deliver. In 2010, Football Manager was released on mobile for the first time, and this spiked the game's popularity exponentially. I mean, literally. Every football fan started playing this in school, during their lunch break, or on the bus. It was a genius move and one that has increased the popularity of the game more than anything else. And the popularity has only grown since. I mean, FM 2020 became the first installment to hit 1 million downloads across all platforms. The core game also improved significantly in 2010. For instance, the user interface was completely changed again to make gameplay even smoother and simpler to understand. The match analysis tool was also reworked, allowing a player's action to be analyzed more deeply to understand a team's strengths and weaknesses. Football Manager today. Today, Football Manager represents a very complete football management simulator. Over the years, all of the kinks have been ironed out, leaving players with a very satisfying game that has few bugs or problems. The current version, Football Manager 2023, is unique from all of the previous versions as it contains UEFA licensed club competitions as well as the UEFA Women's Champions League. It's received an 83% rating from critics such as OpenCritic and is easily the best installment of the franchise to date. Ultimately, what once started as a dream project in the college dorm of two broke brothers has evolved into a worldwide blockbuster that people look forward to every single year. Football Manager is an awesome game, and to see where it all started will make you enjoy playing it that much more. So we'd love to get your thoughts on the evolution of Football Manager in the comments below. When did you first pick up the game, and what was your favorite installment in the franchise? Oh, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to click that subscribe button, as we have dozens of new gaming videos coming your way, and you don't want to miss a single one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.